Goodness gracious, man. Technical difficulties are the story of our life. Snow and weather and daycare and COVID and daycare closings and one step forward, three steps back, man. Like someone once told me, like success is two steps forward, one step back. Struggle is one step forward, two steps back, and you just keep persevering. But I never heard of one step forward, three steps back.
Maybe it's one step forward, eight steps back.
It's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, damned if you try, damned if you quit, damned if you change your mind, damned if you succeed, damned if you fail. Just damned to be damned, man. Goodness gracious, dude. I'm forever getting the short end of the stick on so many fucking projects, on so many. What's working? I mean, fuck, dude, this is a podcast that is strictly virtual. None of us ever have to leave the house, and I can barely fucking pull off a podcast episode half the time. It's just a fucking struggle, man. It is beyond the struggle, dude.
It always is, man. That's how it works, dude. You just got to overcome the struggle.
It just never ends, man.
No matter what it is, you just got to overcome it. Just kill the giant, man. You can't keep a good man down.
Dude, I mean, it's just like it gets to a point where it's like, am I meant to keep persevering at this project or at this goal? Like every fucking step of the way is a goddamn pothole. It's a fucking roadblock. It's some concertina wire. It's a
tripwire.
It's fucking National Guard blocking off the entire 6 blocks of the fucking city. Like I can't get anywhere. I can't do anything. All right, let's get ready to shoot. Nope. Fucking snow, daycare, car. Oh, I guess I gotta fucking do all this shit then. I guess what we have to cancel is what I'm trying to do. Welcome to Zombie SquadCAST bitching hour. It's not the witching hour, it's the bitching hour. We're just gonna sit around and bitch about shit that I'm just gonna bitch about everything.
You're just gonna be super negative, man. Gonna be like a negative dude.
Fucking negative Nancy and Debbie Downer over here pouring me sour drinks all fucking night. It's the bitching hour. Starring negative Nancy and Debbie Downer.
You just gotta be positive, man. Life is full of potholes. You just gotta jump over them joints.
Again, I'm getting too old for it, man. I had to get a fucking an EKG, cholesterol lipids done, blood pressure. I had to get everything except for a goddamn colonoscopy, or not a colonoscopy, but the colon check. What are those called? It's a pap smear for men. Not a colonoscopy, because I think a colonoscopy is when they remove a part of your colon, right?
A colonoscopy is when they take a tool in there to look around. That's what it is. When they take like a camera in there to look around to check if you have
polyps,
like colon cancer or something along those lines.
Colon polyps in your pooper.
Make sure that you don't have anything.
Hey Siri, what's a colonoscopy? Endoscopic examination. It's the examination.
Yeah, like I said, they have a camera that goes in there.
So then a colonoscopy? Colonoscopy But then what? And so let's say they find something, and then they got to remove a part of your colon. They got to remove polyps or whatever. What's that? That's a That's a colonectomy. I don't know. Whatever.
Like Brock Lesnar had part of his colon removed.
When did this happen?
This was a long time ago, like when he was still fighting in the UFC. He had some type of disease or some type of inflammation is what it was.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad inflammation too. It was called diverticulitis. It was like, so he had like, I want to say like 8 inches of his colon removed.
Hey Siri, what is the procedure called when they remove a part of someone's colon?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Colonectomy. Colectomy.
Check it out.
Colon surgery. Colectomy. So it's ectomy. Like ectomy always meant like a hysterectomy or a vasectomy. Oh, it means they're removing something.
Yeah.
So colectomy is the removal. So a colonoscopy is the examination to determine whether a colectomy. Okay, it's colonoscopy. So I guess next thing I got to get is a colectomy, hopefully not a colectomy, but a colonoscopy. Maybe a brain scan and a CTC and an MRI. I mean, EKG, dude. I'm fucking, you know, you're at that age. You're getting EKGs done. They're fucking sticking nodes to your body. Have you had one yet? You're about that age. EKG?
I get a stress test.
EKG or a stress test?
Both.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it definitely like wakes you up to like how old you are, and
yeah, it sucks, man. You never said it was fun.
Yeah. Getting blood drawn.
We're like a lot of men our age are getting their prostates checked. You know, that's a big thing.
Oh yeah, a prostate. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What's the examination when they check your prostate?
Here's an answer from healthline.com. The exam typically involves a digital rectal exam, DRE, and a test for prostate specific.
Probably a colonoscopy. If they're going up your rectum, it's probably a colonoscopy to check your prostate as well as your colon.
It's probably that's what you're going through is they're checking your prostate.
I didn't have a colonoscopy yet. I'm pretty sure since, you know, I'm getting EKGs and cholesterol lipids done and blood pressure's done, you know, twice as much now. And I have to fast. I had to stop eating starting 10 p.m. last night. And I was expecting you to come over to film Rogues Gallery and Sinister Infinite today. So I was going to be sitting here from like fucking 9 to 3 fasting and running teleprompter and, you know, directing and producing and running teleprompter, starving. And then, you know, a bunch of shit happened. Had to postpone today's shoot with you. But then I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go get this shit done now so I can fucking eat. So I got home around like 12:30 and I ate. Like I gorged myself. I'm starving, man. I don't like fasting.
No, it sucks, man.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
Like, I don't know. My wife fasts for
holidays or for religious ceremonies.
There's a Jewish holiday she fasts. I can't remember what it was. I'm such an asshole.
What, during Passover?
I don't think it's Passover. Rosh Hashanah. I think I think they fast for Rosh Hashanah. It's Purim. It's Purim. It's Purim today. Dirk goes out in the city. Hey, it's Purim. I'm gonna go to the synagogue in the city, and then I'm gonna go up to a rave in the other city. Like, what city are you going to? The city, man. The city.
Because I'm gonna celebrate.
Going to the city. Yeah. Okay.
I said, what? COVID doesn't exist anymore? They forgot about it?
It's Purim. Don't worry about it. It's Purim. It's day 3 of Purim. Actually, I can tell you exactly what day it is of Purim.
It's from February 25th to February 26th.
Oh, look at you. Okay. Well, today's Purim. Today's Purim Eve, and it's the fast of Esther today as well. So get it together, buddy. So we're gonna go a rave on the fast of Esther. Okay.
They're celebrating, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's new in the world of TechFall?
Not a whole lot. You know, just started working on some new music today. So we'll see. Trying to form this band with this guy, Ali. So I'm excited about that. You know, heading over to the Eastern Shore. But I'm like super excited about linking up with him and forming this like rock EDM band, which is kind of similar to like Prodigy, but it's going to be our own twist.
Okay.
A lot of like MIDI controllers, beat machines, drum machines, some live instruments too, like live guitars, live bass guitars. So it's going to be interesting. Live pianos, keyboards, synthesizers, all that good stuff.
I like the sound of that.
So yeah, we're gonna hit it full throttle, and maybe by 2022, 2023, we'll have like some solid tracks and maybe do some festivals. Like, we'll see.
Okay.
Like, definitely have to like push out, promote, stuff like that. Maybe try to get up on a record label or something along those lines that can get us booked some gigs. You know, like I don't care where it is, like where the gigs are. Like, I mean, if they want to pay for travel and all that good stuff, I'm cool with it. You know, I'm trying to think big, man. You got to go big.
Yeah, you got to go big or go home, bro. Yeah, but you don't need a fucking record label these days, man. You got DistroKid, you got SoundCloud, you got YouTube Music.
Well, I mean, it helps because they can book everything for you.
Book what?
You know, I mean, when you start doing big festivals and stuff like that, that's what I'm talking about.
All you need is a manager. You don't need a label for that. You really don't need a label for that. All you need is a manager.
Well, manager as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're looking into. I mean, if you can still contribute, I mean, we'll still have the Zombie Squad brand.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know how I can contribute. Maybe I can.
Well, the media aspect of it.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, I mean, you'll still be running the media side of it. You know, then when we start making money, you'll definitely get a cut. There ain't no doubt about it. So that's what my game plan is.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I just want to do some shows, dude, to be honest with you.
You just want to perform live.
I mean, that's it. That's would be enough for me, is just to do like some kick-ass shows, because I know Ali is like, and I'm not even worried about that guy because I know he can bring it. So, like, and he's starting to work on some EDM music on his own. So he's already starting to record some tracks. I think that his thing is that he's missing is like the technology aspect of the music realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like tech savvy with like the computer programs with like Ableton Live, Logic Pro X, all that stuff like that, you know? So I think with my knowledge on some of the computer systems, like, and I'm going to start learning Ableton Live and start getting Ableton Live Suite, a brand new computer. I think that like the sky's the limit, you know, because we'll be implementing live instruments.
Yeah.
And creating our own sound versus, you know, just creating electronic music. But we're gonna be inputting like live drums, you know, live keyboard or live piano, you know, like live electric guitar, live bass guitar, those type of instruments.
So you're gonna be looping, you know, like Reggie Watts. You're gonna be like looping it, and then that's a lot of instruments to be playing.
I don't know, like, how we're gonna do it, you know, or we may have some stuff like already pre-made, and then we just kind of play it out and just add different stuff to it. I don't know. I'd have to work with it and just to see. Like, I would love to have one of those loopers. That would be.
You guys definitely have to sit down and like start experimenting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, dude, like the way, Dwayne Sanchez was, doing a lot of video for this one group. That's all they did, man. They just looped shit. Like, they would like, I think there was a drummer, and there was another guy that just had like 3 or 4 different instruments, and he would loop things. And it was like this live jam band mixed with sort of an EDM feel of looping. Like, they would play something, they would loop it live. So I mean,
like, there's a foot pedal that you can get that can loop everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what Reggie Watts uses. Oh, no, Reggie Watts uses like a deck on a
this guy Dub FX uses that.
Yeah.
The foot pedal
thing. And that's what Dwayne's group, the group that Dwayne did a bunch of videos for, the guy used this foot pedal thing.
Yeah, so you can loop it that way. So that's one of the things that we'd have to talk about and sit down, and because it's just going to be me and him, you know what I'm saying? Unless we can bring a third person in, which I don't know, like working with different artists, especially when you're older and working with different artists, it becomes harder because, like, I don't want to do the whole collaborate with somebody like through Zoom and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to like have sessions like on a regular basis. Like, okay, we're gonna jam 2 or 3 days a week, or 2 days a week. You know, let's commit to 2 days a week. You know, shit. I mean, that's 2 days a week is 2 sessions, and then like once we get it down, I'll take everything that we recorded, and then like I'll mix everything down myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have the other member there when I'm doing that.
Right.
But I'll take the project and do my own thing.
But when you're talking about doing like live sets, like, is your focus live sets? Well, I mean, obviously you want to have like an album or EP or whatever the case may be. You want to have some kind of final thing to post up. You want to, maybe if it's about like song producing, songwriting, song producing, song composing, whatever the case may be.
Well, our live shows will probably be a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Because we're doing everything live. Like, I'll do I'll be on the drum machine, you know what I'm saying? Like doing stuff live, and I'll have like my equipment, and then Ali will have his equipment, and vice versa, you know, or he may jump on the keyboards and I'll take care of like the drum machine and the computer aspect of it, the digital aspect of it, control wise, while he does that. And then like if we have that looper, he can just control the looper with the foot pedal, you know, and just loop it.
Well, you know, like you could look up, if you look up Dave Guetta, I mean, Dave Guetta did a whole bunch of stuff over the quarantine, and he did all these like big shows at these landmarks, like this, you know, what, you know, that big thing in Sydney, Australia, that big dome, that unique looking dome. He did a big show there. He did a big show at the Louvre, I think it was, in France. But nobody was there because everybody was inside. But he just did this big show there all by himself. But he's doing all this stuff live. But so he's got like an hour and a half long album, if you will, but it's dated like, you know, June 10th, 2020. The France show, live from the Louvre.
Is he DJing or is he playing?
He's producing. He's performing. He's whatever the fuck you call it that these EDM artists doing. I mean, what was the question? Producing, playing?
Is he DJing or is he actually creating music on the spot?
What do you call it? So you guys are trying to tell me what these guys do. Steve Aoki, what does David Guetta and Avicii and Steve Aoki do at EDM fests?
Well,
they have a track kind of already made, right?
Exactly.
But then they're kind of tweaking it at this show, and like it's the fucking it's the Ibiza 2020 version of Steve Aoki's Turbulence versus the Ibiza 2019 version.
Yeah, because it would be very hard for him to probably create something right on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
But
because
that's what I'm saying. You guys have things that you guys kind of piece together and work together in the jam sessions, in the practice sessions. Okay. Yeah. But then when you get on stage and you're going to fucking perform at like, you know, Stan and Joe's in Annapolis, or you perform at, you know, Secrets in Ocean City or wherever, you know what I'm saying? And you're at Secrets. It's you know, July 4th, 2021. No. Yeah. July 4th, 2021. Right. And you're doing a show at Secrets and you do this whole set and it's got all those songs, but there's your album. Is that kind of an album? That show that you did? Because that's what David Guetta's been doing all summer. Is he came up with like this whole new sound, future rave, and it's like, you know, it's all over YouTube now, and they're constantly releasing like all these new tracks that he kind of produced maybe at his studio at home, but then when he did this whole show at the Louvre, I guess he's kind of tweaking it live. Like he might put a fucking transition. Or he might tweak the EQ of one instrument or sound.
Like I think like my thing of like doing a live show is that I would like to do is like I could just do like a solo like beatbox type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like on the MPC and just start rocking a beat, and then he could just play the guitar to go with it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like and just kind of like jam out, you know, just kind of have fun with it. You know, it can be improv too. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, I mean, they're live shows. That happens all the time. Like I've been to plenty of live shows, and where they say if it was a hip hop show, they just went off on like a acapella, like freestyle type thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or like a beatbox thing, or the DJ would like kind of do his own thing. You know, like so you can. Well,
there's that German YouTube comedian Flula, and I think he went to South by Southwest. I think it was South by Southwest. He interviewed RZA, and so it was like this 5 or 10 minute interview. But then he's got that loop machine, and he starts going like, and then he's got his beat, and he goes whoop, and he starts doing like these sound effects, and then he'll loop it. And then he just had RZA fucking freestyle. and it's a dope track. But like, I'll send you a bunch of links to like the
I mean, I have a loop machine.
right. And so, but what I'm saying is, I don't know where I was going with that. But okay, but going back to like your idea, like you guys, you and Ali work out like, hey, listen, you know, like fucking we can loop this, that, and the other thing. Or I can sit here and I can make a beat on the beat machine while you guitar, and we kind of like just jam out electronically. It's like an EDM jam out ish.
Yeah.
EDM hybrid jam out type of whatever. Maybe with loops, maybe not. But then the thing is, like, you're talking about like, okay, taking something back and mastering it. There probably should be some sort of version like that. If there's going to be an iTunes download, an album, an LP, an EP, you know, a single, you know, an A side, B side, whatever you want to call it these days. I mean, it's all just single track downloads on iTunes, on Apple Music. Let's be honest, but like as far as like the live stream goes, like I could set up the whole live streaming, jack the final audio into the live stream, set up a 1 to 2 to 3 camera setup, real simple setup, anywhere between 1 and 3 cameras. And so now that's your live stream. But if your set is like an hour and a half, that is a thing in and of itself that you can always go back to, and people can watch that for years to come, and they can just play that. Like I have people over, we're drinking, and I just play that. And that's like the whole music to the party was like this live set that Avicii did on Twitch. You know, that Stevie Aoki did on Twitch, a live set that Stevie Aoki did on YouTube Live or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And what you and Ali do live that is the thing. That you don't have to go back and master that.
Yeah. Unless
you have like some, you know, in-depth recorder. You got Pro Tools or you got Ableton or whatever program recording all the instruments, and then you can go back and mix and master and mix and master each instrument and all that stuff in each track to make a final mastered of each track from that whole night. That's another thing you could do. But then that's the thing. You've got, like, you remember on Pandora, we were listening like those sets, like what the hell was that? That was it was like Soundfest Ibiza 2018, and Pandora always played.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Like 30-minute. Pandora always played Stevie Aoki's 30-minute set. But that's like a track that people just have that track. It's a 30-minute track. But people always jam out to that. But that is one moment in time that is now a property. And by going back and redoing your new song, New to Me.
All of Me, you mean?
All of Me. Like you go back and do All of Me again live. That's a whole new version of All of Me. But that is in and of itself a whole new like piece of content. You know, like I don't mean to get too convoluted here, but like I always had this one version of AC/DC's Back in Black, right? The album with Back in Black, You Shook Me All Night Long, Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, you know, like their biggest, best album. I always had, as it turns out, it was a remastered version that they put out. It was like a remastered, re-released version of Back in Black that was put out 20 years or 15 years after Back in Black came out. And I could tell the difference because I went and watched this movie called Maximum Overdrive with Emilio Estevez, and half of those songs were on that soundtrack. I'm like, yo, this version of Shook Me All Night Long sounds shitty compared to the version I have on iTunes on my phone. That's because I purchased like a remastered version. So even those artists went back and like remastered the track. cleaner instruments, cleaner recording, better recording materials, better recording equipment, maybe digital recording equipment. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds better. I'm like, wow, dude, like that. Is that what that track sounded like back in 1980 when it first came out? Because the version I have sounds way cleaner, way harder, way better. I always thought it was like, I always thought that was it. And then it just dawned on me, I got a remastered version of Back in Black. I don't have the original version of Back in Black. So that's kind of a convoluted. So like going back to this thing, like you came out with All of Me. Now you go to perform All of Me live. It might end up being like an 8-minute version of it. And it might be even better with Ali doing bass and guitar on top of it. It's still All of Me, but now it's like something you did a year later live. But it won't sound live. It'll be because of the way EDM is and the way the equipment is. It's jacked into this deck, and that audio is coming to me, and that's being recorded. That can be pulled to be, a newer version of it, and it doesn't even have to be mixed and mastered. If you guys do a sound check before the show, the equipment's leveled out. You know what I'm saying? Everything sounds good from a sound check point of view. And then you guys start playing. Nothing needs to be mixed and mastered. It's already been mixed and mastered live, recorded, live streamed. Then you just pull that snippet out from the live stream video, and now you've got like this whole new. But then again, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but it's like, I don't know. Am I making sense here? I'm probably not making sense here.
No, you're making sense. I follow you. What you're
like
thinking now.
Great. I'm glad someone is. Yeah, man. I
mean, it's gonna be like kind of like how Prodigy used to do their shows. Like that's what we're kind of aiming for, per se.
Yeah.
Like have that like rock and roll feel to it, you know, like that hardcore, you know, just raw, you know. We don't want it to sound like too digitalized, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want it to sound clean too, but we want it to also sound a little raw as far as, because we're using live instruments, you know, electric guitars and stuff like that. So
a little raw.
Yeah.
Not too raw, but a little raw. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Sure. No, I get what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So, and I can put live drums in the drum machine, you know, if I don't actually have a live drums or a drum set, you know, I can put those live drum sounds in there, like, you know, your kick, your snare, hi-hat. You know.
A kick, a snare, got it covered, bro.
No.
You want it?
We'll see, man. It's interesting. I'm excited.
You want it? I got it.
I don't think a lot of people aren't doing these like rock type live EDM shows, you know, like since, I mean, there's only a couple people that really did it and was successful at it. That was Prodigy, and they're pretty much, you know, not existent right now since the lead singer passed away.
You know,
I think they're working on a documentary right now. It's supposed to get released. But as far as making music, I don't know if they're branching out on their own, or are they going to get another front man? I mean, I love
not with the name Prodigy. I mean, not with the name Prodigy. You know, like,
you know who they should get, man? Dude, they should get Billy Idol, dude. He would fit in well.
He would fit in well, but not with the name Prodigy, you know, like, you know, Prophets of Rage Against the Machine turned into like something about a lion or something like that. And then then I think they added Be Real. I don't know if Zach De La Rocha's in it, but I think
Prophets of Rage?
Prophets of Rage is with Be Real, not with Zach.
It's with Be Real and Chuck D.
Be Real, Chuck D.
From
and then
Public Enemy.
And then the rest of Rage Against the Machine. I think it's the drummer,
and Tom Morello.
I think it's Tom Morello and the drummer and the bassist. I think it's the whole band except for Zach, and to fill in for Zach is Chuck D and Be Real. And so they call themselves Prophets of Rage.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be Prodigy. It would have to be like everybody else. Say Billy Idol, for example, he'd fit in perfectly. Sure, I don't see why not.
He would, man. Like, dude, he's from the UK for one thing.
Yeah.
And he's a legend, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to see Billy Idol collab with.
I loved Billy Idol's gimmick, man. Billy Idol's style, Billy Idol's whole fucking shtick, man, was dope back in the day. He was styling, man.
Yeah, that would be interesting if those two collaborated together and put out an album. You know, if he became the front man.
No. No.
It's so interesting to think of like different artists in collaborations, you know, because the collaborations are just some of them are really cool collaborators. Like I was listening to Sirius XM and heard this old ass collaboration that Tom Morello was playing, you know, because he does his One Man Revolution show on Sirius XM. So they collaborated in '93, Rage Against the Machine with Tool. That was I mean, it was just raw as shit, dude. like when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this shit sounds old, man, because it was like recorded in somebody's basement.
Right.
I mean, this was 1993.
And recorded in somebody's basement.
So he played it on Tom Morello's show, which is like, I was like, wow, man, Tool and Rage Against the Machine are like the two most iconic rock bands in history, you know? As far as when you think of like 90s rock, like you think of Rage Against the Machine, like Tool was up there and they collaborated together. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I love seeing some of the collaborations, but forget what other collaboration was cool. Another collaboration was cool was when Tom Morello played with Bruce Springsteen. Was a cool collaboration.
Yeah, that was good. I remember
that was at Madison Square Garden.
I remember you sent me a link of that like a while ago. Yeah, that was good. I mean, like, he's a good guitarist. He's got a unique sound. He found a way to like mess with the guitar. And
Sting with Bruno Mars was a good collaboration too. That was pretty dope.
Who?
Sting and Bruno Mars.
Sting.
The
wrestler or the singer?
The singer.
Okay. I figured the singer.
They played at the Grammys one year.
Okay.
Together.
Well, who was it? Didn't Bruno Mars do the Super Bowl one year with Red Hot?
No, I think he did it
Red
by
Hot
himself.
Chili Peppers. I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers did a song with him, maybe just one song. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I think he rocked the show out by himself.
Bruno Mars did?
Yeah, I think he had. Yeah. As far as I can remember.
You all caught up on WandaVision?
I think he stole the show. No, I haven't been watching. I've been watching other things.
What have you been watching?
Well, at work we've been watching Shooter. I've also watched I Care a Lot. Have you seen that movie?
Oh,
She scams all those old people
yeah. I haven't watched it yet. No.
at an old folks home, and Peter Dinklage is in that movie.
Mm-hmm. All these people come after her for robbing this one lady. This one lady must have like connections or something. I saw the trailer.
She's got connections with the Russian mafia.
Okay, that's it. I don't want to hear anymore. I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't seen it yet. So
it's a good flick, dude. I would definitely recommend watching it.
I recommend. What do I recommend? I recommend this show called Behind Her Eyes on Netflix. Ooh, buddy, talk about a plot twist out of fucking nowhere. Out of fucking nowhere. I think it was by the second to last episode. I saw everything else coming, but I think it's six episodes. But by the end of the fourth episode, I was like, holy shit, what is happening right now? And then in the fifth episode, when the fifth episode ended, I said, holy shit, this is what's going to happen. And it did happen in the sixth episode, but it's a good show. It's called Behind Her Eyes.
Behind Her Eyes. I got to check that one out.
Behind Her Eyes. Yeah. Practically nobody recognizable. It's a UK show. Shit, man. What else? There was something else I watched. I was gonna.
You've been watching that show Shameless, man? Seems like a show right up your alley, man.
All 12 seasons, all 12 seasons, man. Like when the fuck is this show gonna stop? No, man. I think I fell out of interest. I fell out of interest even before Emma Rossum left the show. Like Emma Rossum left the show somewhere like halfway, like season 9 or 10, she left the show. And they were still making the show. But I think it was like around the 5th season, I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore, man. Like, it's just this dysfunctional family with all the little schemes and their drunken dad. And
I'm like, wow, man, my life is great after watching this show.
Yes, it is. My life is fucking phenomenal. I'm
very blessed after watching this show. I'm very blessed of where I'm at right now.
I'm over here bitching about daycare getting canceled for a day, and it's like, and then you got people like on Shameless, and there are people like that in life, living
actual life.
There are people living lives like that. Like, yeah, I think I'm all right. I think.
Yeah, they're all in South Baltimore.
Where does Shameless take place? Chicago?
Dude, it probably took place in South Baltimore.
Oh yeah, is that where it took place?
Over in Brooklyn.
Listen, man, bro, Shameless is a remake of a British show, I believe, called Shameless. And the British show, I think, was 2 seasons of 6 episodes each. And these guys turned it into like 10 seasons of like 12 episodes each. What are you guys, what is there more to talk about with an alcoholic father? Like, what more can you guys continue to fucking do? Like, go away, man. Go away. It's like SVU. Like, they're just SVU is just ripping straight out of the headlines.
Dude, we had this guy watch that show religiously, man.
What?
Shameless. Like, he'd take a run, put it on pause, take the run, then come back, put it back on again. He'd watch it for like, he watched it every tour, man.
There's a buddy in my unit. There's a buddy in my unit that was talking about it. He goes, I never really wanted to get into it. I started about 2 weeks ago and I'm halfway through the whole show. And I'm like, why, dude? Like, what the fuck is so in? I was like, I think by the 4th season, I was like, I'm so fucking over this show. Like, somebody just take your father out back, shoot him in the fucking head, and call it a day. This guy is fucking useless.
Like, he went to the bar and then he ended up getting knocked out. He's like, I don't know what happened.
And that's like every other episode. Every other episode, the guy wakes up in like somewhere in that bar. knocked the fuck out, and he wakes up from a coma. Like the guy has got to have like CTE already. Concussions, man. Too many concussions. Too many blackouts. That's no way to live, man. There's no way to live. Yeah, man. Just think about stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I think my life's kind of all right. I'm doing all right. William H. Macy, man. Jeez. That guy just, he's not making any other movies. He's just like,
He goes, do not do Shameless for the next 2 years or 4 years.
14 years, bro. Like, what year is it now? 14 fucking years the show's been going on. Like, you know that tall guy, their neighbor that dates their neighbor, the bartender, the tall white guy?
Yeah, he was in Still Waiting.
He was in the sequel, wasn't he? He was in the sequel. Waiting.
Still Waiting was a sequel. He was he was the waiter in that movie.
Well, I just saw him in something else, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the guy from."
Dude, I didn't see him in nothing else except Shameless. I'm like,
see now
I saw him in one movie, and then he was in Shameless, and then that's it. I mean, unless he did some like C or D type movies, I don't know. I don't know his resume.
Well, all right. So the boys. Okay, so Shameless started in 2011. Oh my God. And they're on season 11 now, which returns March 7th. And just about everybody is still in this goddamn show except Emma Rossum. She left. Clearly she had enough. It's like, I'm good. All right. So 134 episodes of a show. I mean, my Lord.
Dude, Entourage was way better than Shameless, and that went to 8 seasons.
Shameless. Oh God. Oh, he was in Stuber. All right, so the boys of Workaholics, they made this movie called Game Over, man, and he was in that, and I saw him pop up in that, and that was funny. But and he was also in Workaholics. That's right.
Dude, that was your favorite show, man.
Workaholics was good.
You loved Workaholics, bro.
Workaholics is funny as shit.
Dude, you used to watch that religiously.
Religiously, I did.
You're like, oh shit, fucking Workaholics is on.
I wasn't that hyped about it. But it was.
He had that shit set to his watch. Hey man, I gotta go, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Workaholics is on in 5 minutes.
I wasn't that pressed about the show, but yes, I liked the show. But there was something else he was in, and I swear I saw him in something. Was it? What the hell was it? Anyway, it didn't matter. Because all he's been doing is just Shameless. Like he's just been on this show and only on this show. Yeah, I've been watching this YouTube channel called Wrestling Bios. This is a really good channel, Wrestling Bios, and he does some in-depth exposés of different wrestlers. And do you remember WCW's ripoff of the Ultimate Warrior, the Renegade?
I don't remember the Renegade.
So WCW. So the Ultimate Warrior was fired from WWF in '96, for the second time. And so WCW, the Warrior was fired from WWF for the second time in '96. So WCW was working on a contract with him, and like a bunch of idiots, WCW started advertising him before there was even a deal set in stone. So they never did book him, but they did all of this kind of advertising of him. So they hired this wrestler who was he started off as a Chippendales dancer. He was a huge buff guy. He was a Chippendales dancer who got into wrestling. You know, great physique. He was eager to learn, and they booked him as the Renegade. Top build, huge bookings, main events, and he was supposed to be working with Hogan on a bunch of angles, helping out Hogan. And he was supposed to be, but they couldn't call him the Warrior. They couldn't call him the Ultimate Warrior, anything like that. So they called him the Renegade. And it was very clear he was not. Oh, what was Warrior's real name? Well, what was the Ultimate Warrior's real name?
The Ultimate Warrior's real name. Hold on, let me pull that up for you. Yeah, James Bryan Hellwig was his real name.
Jim Hellwig, yeah. So everybody could tell clearly he wasn't Jim Hellwig. And the audience really didn't like it. He wasn't very good at the promos. You know, like the Warrior was a terrible, terrible worker in the ring. And so was Renegade. But the Warrior was very charismatic, very eccentric when it came to his promos and his storyline and him working, you know, being the character. And the Renegade wasn't good at promos. And so what ended up happening is WCW just wrote it off as a joke. Commentators, people in the back didn't like him. You know, all the boys in the back didn't like him because this guy didn't earn his spot, really. He was just thrown into this role that was top build, main events, and the guys that worked their tail off were getting mid-card events, didn't like him because they were jealous. They didn't feel like he deserved what he got. You know, but then the commentators started bashing him. And so then they just, so unfortunately the wrestler, I forget his real name. Let me see the Renegade, Richard Wilson. Unfortunately, he committed suicide in 1999 because they kind of just dumped the guy. It's just really sad what ended up happening to this guy.
Yeah, he was severely depressed after he was released from WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died of a self-inflicted. He shot himself in the head.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks how, like,
you know, WCW dumps him and then he shoots himself in the head.
Well, they put him. They try to blow him up into this huge thing, and didn't work out. Yeah, there's a great video. There's this great expose video on YouTube, the sad story of the Renegade in WCW. And you know, so on top of that, Wrestling Bios. It's a channel on YouTube, Wrestling Bios. I watch all this guy's videos. I make it a point to watch this guy's stuff as much as possible. Yeah. He's good. I mean, it's a great show. You remember that TV show Renegade?
Yeah.
With Lorenzo Lamas?
Mm-hmm.
He was like a bounty hunter or something like that. Great bad television. I tell you.
Dude, it had 110 episodes for 5 years.
Yeah.
The Renegade.
Yeah. I think
it started in 92 and then finished in 97.
Was it a USA original? Or was it like another channel and USA just showed reruns?
I don't remember what network it was posted on. Let's see. It doesn't say what network it was on. The USA had some great shows on there.
And if it wasn't original to that network, original network was USA Network. It was a USA Network show. Yeah. Oh, never mind. See, the fifth season was the fifth and final season was a USA original. They syndicated the first 4 seasons. What channel was this shit on, man? Why can't I ever find this stuff?
I'm surprised they don't have it on Pluto TV. They have all the old shows on there.
It's not on Pluto?
I've never seen it.
Oh. Renegade did not air on one specific American television network, but instead was a syndicated series. It was created in order to capitalize on the burgeoning market for syndicated series. Ah, yeah. Man, oh man, I tell you, man, it's just been, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like the weight, you know, the pressure, you know, get productions done, man. I'm starting to feel like I'm really starting to feel like dude, I love fatherhood. I love marriage and I love fatherhood, but I'm really starting to feel that itch to like pull the trigger on some productions, get some stuff in the can, start editing, start putting some more stuff out there, man.
Yeah, that would be good, man.
It's hard. It's hard to find the time, man. It's hard to find the time.
Yeah, because you got to sit down there for a few hours and grinding.
It's hard to find the time.
I mean, because once you get started on something, like, because I have a hard time with that too. Like, if I'm like, I don't know what to do or when I'm making music, you know, what do I want to start with or how do I attack it? But once I get going, I'm all right.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get it. I get you, man. I get it, man. It's just, yeah, it's hard to find time. It's hard to find like an hour or two to myself, man. It's like, I'm gonna start making these things happen, dude. This is gonna be a dull episode. This is gonna be a dull episode. I don't know what to talk about, man. I'm like brain dead, man. Like I'm just, I don't know, getting old, man. Getting old, getting EKGs. I might have to get that brain scan because, you know, it's like, it was my idea to have this roundtable, and then it's like,
I mean, it's all good. I mean, we could end it and that's fine. I mean,
well,
we tried to get Durko on, but you know, he's celebrating, boys.
it's Purim. It's Purim.
It's celebrating, man.
It's Purim. You gotta pour them. You gotta pour them. Well, you know, before we go, let's take a look here. Let's take a look.
Hey, he technically wouldn't be around. You know what Purim, what they're celebrating, right?
No, what?
It's the saving of the Jews because they were going to get killed.
Yeah.
By the emperor.
So let's take a look at this.
That's why they celebrated.
Oh, okay. Purim.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's a Jewish holiday which commemorates. It's a Jewish holiday which commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from Haman.
It was a Persian emperor.
Persian emperor
that was planning to kill all the Jews.
Wow.
So he's celebrating for a legit reason, dude.
He is.
I mean, the Jews are celebrating for a legitimate reason, dude. They were all about to get slaughtered, and they got saved.
Yeah. By the Achaemenid Persian Empire.
God. There's so many Jewish holidays, man. It's hard to keep up.
He wasn't the emperor, but Haman was a Persian Empire official who was planning to kill all the Jews. Listening to the celebrations include listening to the Book of Esther in synagogue, sending food parcels, and giving charity, dressing up in a costume, eating a festive meal, including Haman Tishin, which is Haman's ear, parties and parades, drinking alcoholic beverages, especially wine. So, drink up.
So he's probably going to some type of Jewish party in the city, I would assume.
Probably. It's a Jewish rave to celebrate Purim.
Yeah. Or Jewish event, whatever it is.
Well, I heard rave.
I mean, everybody's definition of a rave is completely different. It really is.
Oh my God. Well,
like when I think of raves, I think of 1998.
Well, most recent in the news is an unseen Vincent van Gogh painting of Paris goes on public display for the very first time today, or I think it was yesterday.
Wow, that's incredible.
Street scene in Montmartre was painted in the spring of 1887, 3 years before the Dutch master is believed to have died by suicide. A painting which has almost never been seen by the public after being stashed within a French family's private collection for more than a century has finally been unveiled. It shows Parisians walking through a rural and sparse landscape in Montmartre, a historic district, which today is one of the city's most popular destinations. The painting is set to go on public display for the first time before being sold at auction in Paris. It's expected to fetch between 5 million euros and 8 million euros, between 6 and 9.7 million, when it goes under the hammer in March. The moment we set eyes on this painting for the first time, we were immediately captivated, says people who are auctioning it. That's nice. Wow, a newly discovered Van Gogh. How extraordinary.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Ooh. And also latest in the news, holy shit. Ex-USA gymnastics coach John Goddard found dead after being charged with human trafficking and sex crimes, officials say. John Goddard, who coached the 2012 U.S. Olympic women's gymnastics team, was found dead Thursday after being charged with 24 felonies in connection with the abuse of young gymnasts. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced Thursday the 63-year-old was facing charges that included human trafficking, criminal sexual conduct, and lying to a peace officer. A release from Nessel's office read, human trafficking. And he was facing charges. Goddard had been expected to turn himself in and be arraigned on Thursday afternoon. And it turns out he committed suicide.
That's something else right there.
Yep.
Involved in human trafficking, then kills himself.
Yeah. Larry Nassar. Well, Sarah Klein, who has identified herself as the first to be abused by former USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar, called John Goddard's death by suicide and escape from justice. I remember when this case broke. I think it was in 2018. This case broke. All these gymnasts came out about the U.S. gymnastics coach and doctor had all these charges against him. It looks like the doctor was involved as well.
Dude, it always seems to be a coach when something happens.
Yeah, I mean,
like Sandusky, remember that whole incident happened over in Penn State?
Yeah, and apparently there was this assistant tennis coach at Towson that was like messing with the girl tennis players. So at Towson, he was an assistant tennis coach. Now he like teaches tennis, but apparently he was like hooking up with girls on the tennis team. Creepers, man, creepers. Finally, there's apparently the nicest public bathrooms is considered to be in New York City.
Really? That's surprising. It must be in Chelsea. I know that shit ain't in Brooklyn. Or Brookland.
Brooklyn.
Everybody that can't afford to live in Manhattan lives in Brooklyn.
Let me see if I can.
They wish they could live in Manhattan.
Fuck, they want me to pay for this article. So hold on.
Even people in Brooklyn call Manhattan the city. I'm going to the city.
I'm going to the city. We're about 8 minutes from the city. Yeah, but you live in Jersey. Nah, but see, we're like 8 minutes from Manhattan. Yeah, but you live in Jersey though. Stop trying to build it up like it's something that's not, because you live in Jersey. Yeah, but dude, we're 8 minutes from the city. Yeah, but you live in Jersey. You live in Jersey now.
Dude, that's like living in Tacoma Park. And be like, dude, but we're like 4 minutes from the city though, man.
Yeah, but you live in Tacoma Park.
Yeah, you live in Tacoma Park.
But dude,
we're
5 minutes from College Park. We're 5 minutes from Silver Spring. We're 5 minutes from DC. But you live in Tacoma Park, bro. But you live in Tacoma Park. I don't know.
Or Langley Park. That's another good one. You ever been to Langley Park?
Langley Park. Yeah.
Dude, it's all Spanish down that joke.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's like Little Havana over there.
Yeah, so apparently this is the nicest public bathroom in New York City. That does look kind of nice.
Do they have a bathroom attendant in there?
Well, look at this thing. This is like really nice.
They need to move that joint over to Bed-Stuy.
Do we have more pictures?
Dude, that's probably in the West Village.
Well, that's one hell of a public toilet right there. Is that a little fucking kiosk for like coffee and mints and shit?
I don't know. I think he's selling stuff. That guy right there. You see him?
Yeah, maybe.
You see the dude to your right?
Yeah.
He has a backpack on.
Well, the red backpack, yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's probably selling.
It's the nicest public bathroom in all of New York City. Well, hey man, I wish this was more entertaining. I wish this was more fun. Anything you want to sign off with?
No, just subscribe. Check us out on www.deadonpictures.com. Check us out on Instagram at Zombie Squad 211. And check out our merchandise. Everything's available on deadonpictures.com. We got a lot of good stuff on there. Check it out. Too much to list right now. We got t-shirts, mugs, hats, everything. Known demand, some artwork, some really cool artwork on there. St. Patty's Day's coming up. Don't forget to get the St. Patty's Day shirts. New music's coming out soon. I'll let you know on that when that's about ready to drop. So just give us a thumbs up, give us a like, ring that bell. You know what to do.
You heard it here, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. So yeah, like TechFall said, like, subscribe, share. I hope I've earned the privilege of your time and viewership. I know TechFall has. He's always a delight. He's always an educational and a hilarity at the same time. Learn a lot, inspires me every day. But until next time, you know what to do.